Immediately when I think of Sydney 2000, I think of the 200 free. I think of lunchtime that day of the final. The final was at 6 o'clock that night, but at lunchtime I'd qualified fastest. I was in lane 4 and I started getting nervous, and I remember I was crying. I remember ringing my husband Cliff and I said, I don't want to go to the pool tonight, I'm too nervous. And he really just put it into perspective for me. He said, it's a swimming race. Go to the pool, put on your togs and swim as fast as you can. And I really remember that advice that he gave me, just to put it in perspective. And I went out that night and then I won. I don't have many memories from behind the blocks or anything. Like when I watch it on TV now, I think, wow, look at all those people watching me. But for me, it was all about walking out, as I'd done hundreds of times, behind the blocks, sitting down, waiting for my name to be called out, standing up. And then in my head, I'd always just think long and strong, and just really try and say that over and over. In saying that, I do remember the start of the 200 freestyle, which I ended up winning though. And I remember at the take your mark, where you go down and you hold the blocks just before the go, and it's meant to be dead silence at this point. So take your mark, I go down. I remember someone yelled out in the crowd, "Go Susie!" And I remember thinking, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you're meant to be really quiet. My first medal was the gold in the 200 free. And then my second medal was a silver in the 200 fly, and then I won the silver in the 4x200 freestyle exactly the same day. And then the next day, I'm pretty sure I won the silver in the 4x100 medley relay. So because I was swimming so many events, my memories of the swimming is just a blur. And I probably didn't enjoy the ceremonies as much as I probably should have, knowing that that would never happen to me again. Like for my 200 free gold medal presentation, I had my main event and my pet event an hour later, the semi-final of the 200 butterfly. So I remember when I was up getting the gold medal for my 200 free, I found it really difficult to enjoy the moment because I was so worried about preparing for my next event, and I knew that I had to get off the dais and swim down, get rid of the lactate out of my arms, change togs, speak to my coach, maybe have a drink, something to eat. It was really a whirlwind. That whole meet was just bam, 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 bam. So I kind of wish I could go back and enjoy the ceremonies more than I did. Well, I knew Sydney was going to be my last Olympics. It was my third Olympics. I was 27. I was kind of, to be honest, I was sick of training. I'd been in the national team for 12 years, and you've got to train really hard if you want to be really good at swimming or any sport. So I knew that Sydney was going to be my swan song. And then after Sydney was just a whirlwind as well. For the first year, I travelled every week on a plane. So going and doing appearances for the sponsors that I had leading up to Sydney Olympics. So that was a real whirlwind. It was a crazy couple of years. I remember just busy doing endorsement sort of stuff. We moved to Melbourne. My husband got a job down in Melbourne, lived there for a year. And then 4 years after the Olympics, I had my first child. So life really changed quite quickly after the Sydney Olympics. It was really weird when I quit swimming, and about 10 years out, I had 2 kids, I was busy, I was helping my husband's business, but I didn't kind of have what I had when I swam. And then I just fell into this radio thing. I feel so blessed and lucky that I found something that I'm as passionate about as I was my swimming. The only different thing that I have never really done before is I'm working in a team now. I've never done that before. I've always been really solo with my swimming career, but I'm really enjoying being part of a team and knowing that each of them has my back, or I've got their back, type of thing. So, and also I love that I'm just learning stuff all the time. 20-year anniversary coming up. I don't know, I think I'll just think quietly about it and reminisce and watch, maybe watch a couple of my events and just think, wow, I can't believe it's 20 years since the Sydney Olympics.